It's authentic food from our family to yours.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
You wanted to see me, Ron?
Yeah, see that woman sitting there? When did we hire her?
Oh, we didn't hire her. It's Take Your Mom to Work Day.
I've never heard of that.
Saw it on the internet.
Oh boy.
Hey guys, it's neat that Gary has a mom and all, but shouldn't we be talking about Alaska vacations?
That's why I brought Mom in.
I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but she can't promise a 1-year no breakdown guarantee the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't promise lower energy bills the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope.
And she doesn't make sure people's air conditioner lasts longer than average, the way Alaskan AC does.
Nope. But she sings.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaska vacation, it will always blow strong.
Wow.
Double wow.
Thanks, Mom.
Anything for the president of the company. How long have you two boys worked for Gary?
Gary.
Hey, gotta go. Promise to take Mom to lunch. Bye.
If you want your AC to last all summer long, with an Alaska vacation, it will always blow strong.
Schedule now at alaskanac.com.
The savings are heating up at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-50 hybrid for just $399 a month plus tax for 36 months with just $29.99 down.
And we still have 1.9% financing on some of our most popular models, like the 2025 Mazda CX-50. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com to check out our current selection of inventory not affected by future tariff changes.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda. On approved credit, customer ID.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes, you're proud to own, we're proud to build.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A 15-game gauntlet, in a good way, starts tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks. More on the Cardinals and their schedule, and where do things stand with Kevin Durant and his future. All of that on today, the Friday edition of the Lunch Break here on KDUS AM 1060, always streaming on the KDUS AM 1060 app. And you can always watch the show over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Producer Evan is behind the glass. He's going to be working very hard today. It is a Take Friday here on the program. Your phone calls.
Not going to hang up on anybody?
Easy. Don't set yourself up for failure before we even get into the program. 480-864-1060 is the phone number if you want to get involved on a Take Friday, our second Take Friday since we started this. You call in, you give your take out on the air. At the end of the program, we pick whatever the best take, the best call of the day was, and you're hooked up with a $50 gift card to Von Hansen. So no calls right now, not in the opening segment. We'll just get the stage set for the rest of the show. But your phone calls always welcome here today on the program, and that will be that's where you'll talk to Producer Evan, 480-864-1060. Producer Evan feeling good today, and I'm sure this one will be on social media in a hurry. Yesterday's pinball game took all day to get up on social media. I'm sure today's quick turnaround because you beat me. Closely contested battle. I got a little too big for my britches, and I picked the same song you did, and it didn't go well for me.
You tried to troll?
I did. I tried to troll. It did not work out, and I'm sure that one will be turned around instantly for the social media audience. I'm sure
you got to sit with it all weekend.
I'm sure it's up there right now, knowing the way that our lovely social media team loves to troll me on a regular basis. I'm sure it's up there already. Speaking of today, we've got a baseball game tonight. We have a baseball series tonight, and we're going to open the show by putting out a message to the Arizona Diamondbacks because there is something they have to do this weekend.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
I usually avoid doing this. Baseball is the one sport where you're still going to lose even the best teams 60, 70 times throughout the course of a season. You're going to have some bad losses. You're going to have some losses that you wish you could take back. Some results are going to end up on that list of games that you lost, but you should have won those ones. I know. 162 games, you're bound to have a handful of bad days at the office. And you don't necessarily jump on a team if at the end of the season they win 95 games. You don't get on them for those handful of games that are a part of the 70 that they may lose throughout the course of the season. But I'm going to tell you, you cannot lose a game this weekend. You welcome in a 7-win baseball team this weekend. 7. Not a typo. Not a misprint. I did not misspeak. The Colorado Rockies have won 7 games. I have a best friend from Colorado, is a Rockies fan. He is being trolled in the group chat. We are giving him a hard time about how bad his baseball team is. And in that group chat, this statistic was shared to me. This 7-36 record that the Rockies have is the worst in Major League Baseball's modern era. So since 1900, this is the worst start to a season ever. It is tied with the 1895 Louisville Colonels for the second worst all time, and they're only a game better than the 1884 Kansas City Cowboys and the 1876 Cincinnati Reds. That's the company that the Colorado Rockies, who are coming to town to have a 3-game series with the Diamondbacks this weekend, that is the history that they are carrying with them. One of the worst baseball teams in the history of the sport. Their plane has gotten here to Chase Field to Phoenix to take on this 3-game series. I'm sorry, you cannot lose a single game this weekend. You have to hand a sweep to this team. Get the brooms out and send the Colorado Rockies back to Denver. Send them back with 3 more losses in their back pocket. There are 0 excuses. You have Corbin Burns. You have Zach Gallen. You have Merrill Kelly all going this weekend. If you had to pick the 3 pitchers that you would want to start these games, these are the 3 guys that you would select. There are no questions in my mind. Oh, well, what if they just took 2 out of 3? No. You just went through a 16-game stretch and faced a who's who of teams in the National League. You faced the Dodgers, you faced the Giants, 2 of your direct competition against in the NL West. You took on the Mets, you took on the Phillies, teams in the National League East that you may be competing with for a wild card spot. You went up against a who's who of the National League, and you survived. You didn't thrive, but you didn't completely bury yourself. You didn't tank your season. You went 8-8, and you got through it. We'll touch on this a little bit more in the program. And my guess is some of the takes here on the show for a Take Friday are going to be Diamondbacks related. But there's a 15-game stretch that starts tonight that is way more favorable than the 16 games that this team just went through. And it starts with this 3-game series. If you want to unwind yourself from this conversation of being a middle-of-the-road, mediocre, inconsistent, hovering around 500 baseball team, if you want to change that narrative, you change that narrative by beating up on bad baseball teams. And not just any bad baseball team. How about the worst baseball team through the first 43 games of a season in the modern era of the game of baseball? 0 excuses. I don't care if the bullpen blows a game over this weekend. I do not care. Win the dang baseball games. Be 3-0 when we come in here on Monday. You need to start this 15-game stretch where you're supposed to get fat. Your record is supposed to get more healthy. You're supposed to have a record that more reflects what we think of you as a baseball team. Put 3 more wins in the win column. I get it. It's baseball. You lose games that you're not supposed to lose. It happens. We are football-brained, and that has leaked into other sports where losses are viewed as this end of the world. You play 162 games of baseball. You are not going to play your best every single day. You are going to play some days where it looks like you are a little league team playing baseball. Happens all the time. Can't happen this weekend. Can happen against the Dodgers. It can happen against the Giants. It can happen against a good baseball team. Shouldn't. You don't want it to happen. But I would much rather accept it there than this is where you have to gain games. This is where you have to strengthen your record. You have done a decent job keeping yourself afloat. You have done a decent job not torpedoing your season. They could have very easily lost a bunch more games. They could have lost more to the Dodgers. They could have lost this series to the Giants. You're coming off a series win in San Francisco against the team directly in front of you in the standings. That's the mark of a good baseball team. You know what's also the mark of a good baseball team? At home, sleeping in their own bed, playing in front of their own home crowd, beating up a team that has 7 wins this season. I think I can put together a baseball team of 9 people from this building, and we might win more games than the Colorado Rockies have so far. You gave us 43 chances. We could go play a rec softball league and win more than 7 games. I'll just pull people from different departments and we'll play baseball, softball. 7-36 is how the Colorado Rockies come into this series. They have fired their manager already. And since firing their manager, it has not gotten any better. This is a bad baseball team, and this is a perfect scenario for the Diamondbacks to get their season on a good track. You've just been plotting along, trotting along, just staying afloat. Now it's time to push the pedal to the metal and make some noise that we know this team is capable of. Might get Justin Martinez back this weekend. The pitching matchup set up really well for you. You just took 2 out of 3 from the Giants, excuse me. I mean, I don't know if you can set up any better for this environment. Bad team, you're set up well pitching-wise. You might be getting healthy in the bullpen. You just took a really good series from a San Francisco team. What more can you ask for? What more could you need right now than a nice, healthy sweep of a bad baseball team in Colorado to get your season back on track? Am I too harsh today on a Friday, Producer Evan? Is that too? I mean, I'm sorry, but there are some times where you circle the series and you say you just have to sweep that team. You have to sweep the Colorado Rockies this weekend.
No, and we'll get into it an hour or two of the show, but I think you look at this next 15-game stretch as, I don't want to say make or break, but this is certainly your biggest opportunity all season when you look at the schedule to gain ground and make up room in a tight division. There's one team in your division you have the chance to beat up on, right? Because
the only one.
The Giants are good.
Yeah.
Obviously the Dodgers, Padres are good. This is the only team that you get to play enough all year that you can take to town. You can beat them up. You have to do it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. You and I play in the same division. Every time you play the Marlins, you look at it as that opportunity, and our team seemed to struggle against the Marlins, but you look at those series and say, hey, that's where you gain ground. And if the Diamondbacks don't gain ground in this series and they don't take 3, I mean, that's a problem.
What am I supposed to do on Monday if they lose 2 out of 3 of this series? What am I supposed to do on Monday if they
lose 2 out of 3, I'm hanging the done chain on them.
You're going to come in here on Monday and you're going to say they're done.
If you lose 2 or 3 to the Rockies?
If you lose 1 out of 3 to the Rockies.
It's not over, but it's certainly you're in a bad spot.
You probably look at it as you missed a chance.
I don't want to do the show before the show.
That's okay. We do it all the time.
But like looking at these 15 games, and we're going to talk about them an hour or two again. I mean, you circle a number. It's high. These next 15 right. You have to win.
You're circling series and you're saying, okay, we have not played our best, right? Everybody can admit it. We have not played our best. There's a bunch of different factors for that. We haven't been healthy. We had a bit of a slow start with our rotation. Our bullpen has been just a mess for a whole bunch of different reasons. Okay, you played a tough schedule. Fine. All of those things are legitimate reasons why this team is hovering around 500. I can't give you those legitimate reasons if you struggle against the Rockies, if you struggle against the Padres, if you struggle against the Nationals who come up on the schedule for you. And again, not to do the show before the show, but this is why you circle a series like this weekend and say, you're home. There's no excuse of being on the road. There's no excuse of, you're facing the back part of our rotation. Burns, Gallen, Kelly. You just took 2 out of 3 from San Francisco. So you're coming in playing good ball. 0 excuses available. I'm sorry, none.
And I'm not calling the Washington Nationals the Colorado Rockies because they're not. Because they have pieces I like. James Wood's a good player. Mackenzie Gore's a good player. They have pieces in Washington. But you've already lost your opportunity when you played them before.
Yep.
You cannot do it again. You have to take 2 or 3 in that series. And Washington's good enough where they could catch one. But if you don't win that series, man, you start asking questions.
Yeah.
You lost the Nationals twice.
You start wondering, is it worth the agita that it is every single night? Or is this team telling us who they are? I'm sure I'll still get it's early on Monday if they don't sweep this year. Chris, it's early. Easy. Early.
It's almost June. It's not that early.
It's Memorial Day. Memorial Day is the well understood demarcation point for baseball. Just wait for Memorial Day is what you hear all the time. Check in Memorial Day, see where your team's at. Okay, but I'm going to hold you to that. When we get to Memorial Day, let's see where this team's at because it includes a nice stretch right now where they're supposed to get fat with their schedule. Do they take advantage? Again, not to do the show before the show, but we'll get to that a little bit more and preview more of these 15 games.
We certainly just did the show before
We did the show before the show, but it's a Friday. It's what we do here. It's also a Take Friday. Want to hear from you. You want to get involved. You have thoughts. You want to perhaps. Now, this may open up a huge can of worms, but I think we'll allow it because it's a Friday show. You want to play the win-loss game? You want to go through it? The floor
we'd love to play the win-loss.
The floor is all yours today. You want to come in with your take, the Cardinals schedule, and you want to give a record prediction, and you want to play the win-loss game? We'll let you do it.
How about this? Instead of doing all 17.
No, do all of them. Do all of them.
I was just going to say, give us a record and the 3 games that you think are surprising.
No, do them all, and it's just got to be rapid fire. You just got to go. I'll give you the music and everything. I will produce the heck out of the segment for you. But you got to bring it, and you got to bring the tempo. You want to do that? You can do that. You want to talk Diamondbacks?
I think we're going to have some negative outtakes on the Cardinals this year.
Maybe we will. 480-864-1060 if you want to get involved in a Take Friday and you want to be entered for a chance to win the $50 gift card to Von Hansen's. The best take of the day, the best call of the day, will determine that in the leftovers. So the rest of the show is all yours. We've got some topics. We'll dive into a bunch of stuff, but if you want to take us in a totally different direction, it is all yours today. So we'll take some of your phone calls on the other side, 480-864-1060. And when we come back, the schedule is now out for the Arizona Cardinals. What do the wise guys have to say about it? That's next on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, Peter Frampton. Let's Do It Again tour. June 25th, Arizona Financial Theater. Grammy winner, the one and only Peter Frampton. On sale now at livenation.com.
Hey, it's Austin Clark, owner of Moxie Pest Control. Did you know there's over 1,000 pest control companies in Arizona? So why is Moxie the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona? Because at Moxie, we put people first, and we believe in paying it forward. That means kindness every time. It means showing up on time, going the extra mile, and treating your home like it's our own. And by taking a little extra time in our service, we make a few friends along the way. Our field experts are the kind of people you'll feel good having around your spouse, your kids, and your pets. Yes, we've trained them to solve pest problems better, but also to care more, smile more, and earn your trust at every visit. We offer same-day services in most cases, and we'll even give you 50% off your first service when you call. Call 888-MOXIE-10. That's 888-MOXIE-10. Moxie Pest Control, the highest and most reviewed pest control company in Arizona.
Right now at Mark Kia, lease a brand new 2025 Kia Sportage for just $199 a month for 24 months with just $29.99 due at
The
signing.
name, remember? Mark Kia? Mark Kia. Go to markkia.com for full details. $0 security deposit payment plus tax title license and $998 doc fee. Offer expires June 2nd, 2025.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Cedric Maxwell. Cedric.
Jim, it is so good to see you again. Last time I was on your show, I was playing with the Clippers, and that was so long ago. It was that's how that throwback this goes. I think it was the first time I came to the Clippers. I was on your show, so it is good to see you.
The wars between the Lakers and the Celtics in the 80s, the fact that you just referenced the Lakers just there tells me all you need to know. What do you remember about those wars back in the day?
How much I hate James Worthy today. How much I hate Magic right now. I mean, those guys, I respect them, but I still have this hatred for them. But those were just legendary battles.
Cedric, I mean, for real? I mean, do you really hate James Worthy even to this day? I mean, I know then, but to this day?
Jim, if I had a glass of water, he was on fire, I would drink the water, okay? I wouldn't pour it on him. You need this dude? No, I'm good. I'm all set. And I will hope that he would do the same thing with me.
I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Back here on a Friday edition of the Lunch Break. Chris Schubert here with you. Yesterday, we finally played the win-loss game. This program both got the Cardinals to a 10-7 final record. I have the paper here somewhere. Yeah, I kept it, so we will be able to always know if we got these games correct. I have mine saved. You have a big notebook that you keep all of your show-related stuff in.
Yeah, I do.
It's just random pieces of paper that I then need to try to keep together in some capacity. Like, this is literally just a blank piece of printer paper that I just grabbed to write my games down. You have a nice notebook, and you write the date of the show. You are way more organized than I am. So you'll be able to recall, oh, yeah, I had them beating the 49ers in week 3 or whatever it ends up being.
The problem is I'm running out of pages in that notebook. So I think by the time we get to October, I'll be on a new notebook. And who knows what I'm going to do with that notebook.
My advice is you got to keep those notebooks here.
Yeah.
You have to keep
them in the building.
You have to keep them in the building. You have to keep them close.
Yeah.
They're in my office or in your studio. You just need to keep them because if you bring those things home,
they're gone.
They're going to get lost.
Probably fair.
So you got to keep things. You got to keep things close. 480-864-1060. You want to join us here on a Take Friday? Anything that's on your mind? Cardinals, Diamondbacks, Suns, anything you want to jump in on, you can always do so here on a Take Friday. I saw a chart that was put up on social media of the game-by-game spreads for all 17 games of the regular season for all the teams. And I found this chart particularly interesting when it comes to the Arizona Cardinals. I won't go through all 17, but I will have you know that they only had the Cardinals favored in 7 of their 17 games. Favored by the sports books. I believe all of these spreads were courtesy of the DraftKings Sportsbook. 7 of their 17 games they're favored in. Now, I'll tell you exactly which of those 7 there are. They are favored in week 1 against the Saints. They are favored in week 2, home against the Panthers. They are favored in weeks 4, weeks 5, and week 6, home against Seattle and Tennessee. Favored on the road at Indy. And then their other 2 games where they are favored. Week 12, they are 3-point favorites against Jacksonville. And week 16, they're 3.5-point favorites at home against Atlanta. Every other game on this schedule, they are an underdog. And what's important is another data point for the tough backstretch of the schedule. Weeks 13 through 18, they are favored in 1 game. It's that Atlanta game. And in 3 of those 6 games, in 3 of the 5 games that they're the underdog in, they are a 3.5-point underdog at least. 3.5 in week 13 at Tampa, 3.5 in week 17 at Cincinnati, and 3.5-point dogs in week 18 at the Rams. What should we do with this information? Well, I don't think it's very instructive for us to take a whole lot into the spreads for the back part of the schedule. I think anything after their bye week in week 8, I don't know. Do we know what Seattle is? Do we know what San Francisco is? Do we know what Jacksonville is? See, the spreads, these lines in the first half of the season, the first couple weeks of the season, they matter a whole lot more to me than those numbers in the back part. I find it telling that 5 of the first 6 games for the Cardinals, they're favored, and I'm not surprised. Producer Evan, did you have them winning 5 of their first 6 games like I did? I had them starting 5-1, and I had them winning all 5 of the games that Vegas says they're favored in without knowing this information.
Yeah, I think we both had that same outlook on the first 6 weeks of the season.
So, what this is saying is the Cardinals early on have to make some headway in their season. If they get off to a slow or rocky start, it may be tough for them in the back half of the season when they're going to Tampa, when they're facing the Rams twice in the final 5 weeks, when they have to travel to Houston, to Cincinnati to take on a playoff team from a year ago, a division winner from a year ago, and perhaps one of the top 3-4 quarterbacks in the league in Joe Burrow. The first half of the schedule, the first 6 weeks, extremely favorable. The last 6 weeks, that's where the challenge is. Now, mind you, it's not a challenge the way it is for other teams. Producer Evan, do you know how many games the Giants are favored in this season? If you had to take a guess, how many games the Giants are favored in this season?
The New York Giants.
New York Giants.
I'll take 0.
They are favored in 1 game. They are favored in week 5. I don't know who they play in week 5, but that's the only green bubble on their chart here. Let's pick another team. The Cleveland Browns. How many games are the Cleveland Browns favored in?
I'll also take 0.
1 for the Cleveland Browns. Week 14. Again, don't know who they play, but week 14, they're favored in. So they don't have as hard of a schedule as those teams. They're not as bad as those teams, but they don't have as hard of a schedule. They also don't have the schedule like the Buffalo Bills do, or they don't have a team like the Buffalo Bills do. Do you know that the Bills are favored in every single game they play this season? Favored in every single one. The strength of schedule for the Arizona Cardinals, there are only, I think it's 5 teams, might only be 4 teams, that have a easier strength of schedule, quality of opponent, based on their winning percentage from a year ago. Only 4 teams have a easier strength of schedule than the Cardinals. One of the easier schedules on the docket, front-loaded in a big way. 5 of their first 6 games they are favored in. And they're not just 3.5-point favorites in week 1 on the road. 4.5-point favorites at home in week 2 against Carolina. Week 4 against Seattle, 2.5-point favorites. They're 5.5-point favorites in week 5. They're 1.5-point favorites on the road in week 6 at Indy. But yet, you look at it big picture, Vegas only has them favored in 7 of their 17 games. If they're going to get to 10-7, like producer Evan and I both predicted yesterday playing the win-loss game, they're going to have to flip 3 of those results. They're going to have to win the 7 that they're favored in, and they're going to have to find 3 other games. And we'll touch on a little bit later in the program. We've been doing the show before the show all day today. Is 10-7 going to be enough? Will 10-7 be enough to get this team into the postseason?
I have an interesting little storyline.
You want to take us in a different direction? Go right ahead. That's what a Take Friday is all about.
So we have Cardinals this year have 6 1.5-point spreads. You have 6 games where they think it's going to be within 2 points. In 5 of those, they are the dogs.
Give me that one more time.
So the Cardinals have 6 1.5-point spreads. In 5 of them, they're 1.5-point underdogs.
Yeah, and it is a 4-game stretch. That's why I asked you to repeat it, because I thought I was picking up what you were putting down.
There's a 4-game stretch there where you're 1.5-point dogs, a 5-game stretch where you're 1.5-point spreads.
Yeah, week 6 through week 11, they're bye weeks in the middle there. They're favored in week 6 against Indy, and then they're 1.5-point dogs. Now, remember, these will change based on how the team plays. But right now, those next 4 games, week 7, week 9, week 10, week 11, they're all 1.5-point underdogs.
Which is the longest stretch by any team with spreads within 2 points.
And what does that tell you? It tells you
me that's the most important stretch of the season. You have to win some of those games because you're not big favorites and you're not big dogs. So you have to start taking advantage of the games that you're either slight dogs or slight favorites.
It also tells me that they think you're going to be in a lot of games, but they're not sold on you winning a lot of those games.
There's only 3 teams with more 1.5-point spreads either way. There are the Cowboys, the Packers, the Seahawks, and I think all 3 teams except the Packers, or all 4 teams except the Packers, who maybe sit in a kind of a step or class above the next 3 teams, sit in the same class as the Cardinals. We don't really know what the Cowboys are. We don't really know what the Seahawks are. You and I both aren't sold on the Seahawks.
No, I'm out on the Seahawks.
But I think a lot of people talk about those teams in a similar conversation as what the Cardinals could be this year. So it's interesting to see you play all 3 of those teams that have more 1.5-point spreads with you, and you are 1.5-point spreads with all of those teams.
Yeah, really good observation by you. Week 6 through week 11, they're on either side of a 1.5-point spread, and that shows you these are games that the wise guys think are going to be close games. They're not really sure which way they're going to go. It's basically a pick-em. It's basically a toss-up. The Cardinals are going to have to win some of those toss-ups if they are going to get to 10 wins or more wins to be able to make the playoffs. 480-864-1060. We want to hear from you on a Take Friday. I thought for a second that John would be the first person to call today to defend his crown. Let's be honest. It's going to be really difficult to win 2 weeks in a row. To win the Take Friday 2 weeks. I mean, he is working at a disadvantage. But I thought, as the person who won last week,
this the draft lottery,
he would have been right in there to set the bar high
and defend his crown
and make everybody chase him. Could be you. You could get in front of John because John, 2 segments in, hasn't called in yet. So when we come back, your phone calls 480-864-1060 here on a Take Friday. The Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Do we know who's actually in those sweepstakes? It's next. The lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
I got my first real 6-string.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th, with special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota for summer?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer.
Yeah, I'm a pet sitter and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas. Your summer starts here. Oh, that's the Walker's pet parrot, Mr. Knowles. That's me. They packed up their new Corolla and took a trip to a national park.
Well, through June 2nd, everyone can join in on the summer fun with a great selection of Camrys, 4Runners, and more.
Yeah, the Johnsons strapped a canoe onto their new Grand Highlander and went out to the lake. Shh, quiet, Lou. And Mark and Sarah loaded their gear into their Tundra and went scuba diving. Oh, no, stop. Sebastian, Goldie is not dinner. Fish for dinner. No, stop. This is bad. Yeah, I gotta go.
Good luck.
Your summer starts here.
That's right, Mr. Knowles. Summer starts here at your Toyota dealer with a new Toyota, but it all ends June 2nd. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
Feeling uneasy about your financial future? You need a partner that helps lighten the load. Welcome to Global Credit Union. It means early payday, your paycheck up to 3 days early with direct deposit, accounts with no NSF fees, and a mobile app with tools to help you manage your family budget. At Global, we take member care seriously with branches near you and a 24/7 US-based call center staffed by real people. Join us at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union.
The summertime savings are heating up at Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Right now, you can receive a 2.99% APR for up to 60 months on a brand new 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander. Or check out a brand new 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage for just $15,995.
Go to ScottsdaleMitsubishi.com to check out our current selection of inventory not affected by future tariff changes. The name to remember, Scottsdale Mitsubishi, Scottsdale Mitsubishi, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Ten minutes from now, a little buy or sell to close out hour number one of the program. You want to give the listeners a little preview of what to expect in buy or sell today, Producer Evan? Just a little tease. You don't have to give anything away.
Cardinals schedule talk. Maybe some talk about the Diamondbacks and their upcoming series.
Okay. So all of that coming up in about 10 minutes on buy or sell. And let me just say, I love the this is our inside radio term, the P1s. Just means the diehards, just means the guys and gals who are with us every single day on the lunch break. They never miss a single second. I love our P1s. I love our diehards because they are who they are and we embrace them for who they are. So I called out John, our defending Take Friday champion, and his response to me was, I'm working. What do you think we're doing, John? We're working too. You don't see it stopping us.
This is our job.
Keeping
the lights on.
I need to see that. I need to see that phone line light up with you having a take. Now, our other big P1, and I thought about saving this. I could now that I've seen it. I got an email.
Paul?
So you know who that is. Again, that's why I love our P1s. If I see an email during the show via our inbox, and by the way, if you want to email into the show, all you have to do is just go to the app, you hit the little feedback button, and then general feedback, that's your way to email into the show, and then I see all of the emails. Paul has put out a pick.
Cardinals?
No, he has a pick for the Preakness tomorrow. So this is, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know exactly what Producer Evan's going to do the moment I say this out loud. You're gonna be in.
I ride with Paul.
You ride with Paul. You're 0 for 1, but you ride with Paul.
What do we got, Paul?
Paul is going with River Thames to win.
River Thames.
River Thames to win the Preakness tomorrow.
It's a name that definitely was not in the Kentucky Derby.
All the email says is River Thames will win the Preakness tomorrow. Now, Paul could email in and make up a horse's name, and I would just read it out on the air. So we need to make sure that horse is in the Preakness. I don't think Paul would troll us like that, but Paul has offered up his pick. Are you? I can already see you. You've got the phone out. You're ready to go. You're paying. You're looking it up. You're like, what are the odds?
Yeah, I gotta see what
you gotta
odds
know.
we get on River Thames.
You got to know what odds we get. Okay, well, while you're doing that, let me get the show back on track. The NBA playoffs getting closer to an end. We've got a very important Game 6 tonight between Boston and New York back in Madison Square Garden. The Nuggets last night forced a Game 7 by beating the Oklahoma City Thunder, but we are just a few days away from the conference finals. Before you know it, the NBA finals will be here, and then it will be the summertime. It will be the offseason of Kevin Durant. Probably have a new coach by then for the Phoenix Suns. We'll have a lot of stuff to digest as a fan base. So before we get there, I want to put together a list. And normally we do lists. We have the music. Not that kind of list. But I think we need to put down the teams that actually may be interested in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. Because if the Suns are going to make this trade this summer, we expect that they will. We expect that is what they want to pursue. Who may be calling them? Because depending on who you listen to, depending on who you read, depending on whose information is getting out latest, those teams and their interest varies. So I want to put together the official lunch break list of teams that we think are going to be interested in Kevin Durant this summer. You look like you want to give me the odds on River Thames to win the Preakness. You just look like you want to share those.
River Thames is 9-2 to win the Preakness.
I knew you had it written down. I could just see it in your face.
Win probability.
You wanted to just completely derail my Suns segment to give me those odds. I could just feel it.
But I didn't want to. I was going to lay out.
No, you say that, but I'm looking directly at you and I can see the grin on your face because you have the numbers and you're waiting. You're waiting for me to be done. You're waiting for me to have the list on. You're like, oh, Chris, I ran the numbers. Here you go.
Well,
I can feel it.
I came up with a segment name, Paul's Preakness pick, but then I was like, well, horse race, it's not always the Preakness. So we just...
So not only
did the alliteration not work.
So not only did you have the odds, you are very much producing a future segment. I don't even know what would we do. That's not it's not even a full segment. It's just it's a pick and then we move on. I don't know what to do with that.
It's completely pointless. Yeah, just move back.
You know what?
The alignment.
Not aligned right now. This program is not aligned. We are not on the same page.
Speaking of alignment.
Okay.
The alignment.
What teams are interested in Kevin Durant?
There you go.
Now
that's producing the program. That's getting us back on track. Did you hear what I said? Do you want to help contribute to this list?
Yes, I have some names.
You have some team names. Let's start with the team name that I think is going to cause the most debate. Do we put the Houston Rockets on this list of a team that's actually in on Kevin Durant? I read a story today that said anytime that Kevin Durant's name has been brought up between the Suns and the Houston Rockets, it's come from Phoenix's end of the phone. Houston is not calling up the Phoenix Suns to talk about Kevin Durant. It's the Suns calling up Houston, or in the midst of a conversation, the Phoenix Suns are bringing up Kevin Durant, not Houston. And there's talks of they don't know if he's a good fit because of how old he is compared to their young core. So what do we do with them? Do we actually put them on the list? Part of me says no. Part of me says Houston doesn't go on this list until I see reporting that points me in another direction.
I agree. I just don't think they're actually in it. I think they're in it. I just don't think they've actually expressed any interest.
So now we've opened up a real can of worms for ourselves. Because if Houston's not on the list, who is on the list?
Ready for my pick? My out of nowhere pick? Well, not out of nowhere, actually.
Okay.
I think that I heard this morning.
Okay.
That Daryl Morey is interested in moving the third pick.
The alignment.
You and I aligned. I want the 76ers on this list.
And I think the Sixers should be on this list.
They are not. What was Daryl Morey said what? We are not running it back? We are running it back? He said something.
He said they're running it back, but they're also willing to move the third pick, which I think running it back doesn't mean you have to do it with the same three.
No, but it
just means that you're trying to make a run right now with Joel Embiid.
You're running back the idea of we're in a championship window.
Yes.
Right? And I saw right after the draft lottery, there was a CBS Sports story that put out a bunch of different trade proposals after the draft lottery. And one of the ones that they had was Paul George and the number 3 pick coming to Phoenix for Kevin Durant. So this is not seemingly out of nowhere. Would you want the 3rd overall pick? Would you want Ace Bailey, right? That's probably the guy who's going to be there at number 3. Is that enough for you to move Kevin Durant and take on Paul George? You're taking on a younger player, yes. You're also taking on a player who has a longer contract. He's got more years left on his deal than KD does. And do you want the playoff, or do you want the podcast P antics? Because he is returning to his podcast.
Yes, great troll by Lee.
Oh, it was in the Chargers,
Los Angeles Chargers
video where they put up a missing sign for Podcast P, and then over it said found. It was amazing. It was very good. So you have to ask yourself if that's enough of a return. But all right, 76ers on this list. Anybody else?
So 2 weeks ago, I would have told you the Timberwolves, and I want to get into it. The playoffs have changed that now.
And here's the other team. The Knicks. What do I do with the Knicks? If they win tonight and they beat the Boston Celtics and they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, that's over. That's over. That's where that fan base wanted to get to this season.
If they lose this, if they blow to this 3-1 lead without the Celtics having Tatum, it's a serious conversation.
Yeah. We are going to have some of those tough conversations
of whether they want Kevin Durant.
Yeah, you go up 3-1
and you lose that series without Tatum.
Without Tatum, you're back in on this list.
Also starts a lot of conversations about Tatum, but we'll get into that later.
It would yes, but don't do this. Don't do a show way before a show. Don't do that. So Timberwolves, we don't want to put on the list. Knicks, we don't want to put on the list right now. Do you put Dallas on the list? Do you put San Antonio on the list?
The other one I was going to put was San Antonio, and I'll tell you why. They are another team who moved up in the lottery and had this gift from the NBA gods.
Sure.
To pick number 2 and make a splash move. They have Wemby. They have De'Aaron Fox. We talk about it as a league of pairs.
Dynamic duos, how I call it.
But they could be willing to get over that hump and get those guys playoff experience. How long can you go without making the playoffs with those two before we got to go make a splash?
Yeah, I just think for all the reasons why we don't want to put Houston on the list, I think San Antonio is in their life cycle as a team behind Houston. So if Houston feels like Kevin Durant is too old for their window, wouldn't San Antonio feel the same way? See, Dallas I want to put on the list because they're star chasing. Now, you're not getting the number 1 overall pick for Kevin Durant. Let me just make that very clear. But can you make a trade and get something back of value from Dallas, future firsts, or you work in another team and get some assets from a different place? That could make some sense. Dallas might be big star hunting. But if we're removing Houston, we're not sure on San Antonio. Oklahoma City right now, depending on how they play. I saw a reporter this morning mention the Nuggets as a potential team that could be interested. Not reporting it, but that they should call if they fall short of a championship this summer. I don't know about that. See, this is why I wanted to do this exercise, because when you remove the Rockets and you say the Rockets are not on the list, who do you have left? Our buddy Sean brought up a really good point. We've talked about this team in the past. They should go on the list. Put the Miami Heat on the list. Desperation, a place that Durant might want to go to. They're looking to make a big splash. But see, you need a team that's willing to make a big splash. And so that's why you have Philadelphia, Dallas, Miami, and that's about it.
San Antonio, for the same reason I feel about football teams trying to win with quarterbacks on a rookie deal. How long are you going to have Wemby on this deal?
Well, I also need to see Wemby come back.
But then you're going to have to extend him.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to have to see him come back. I know that's tough. But they're going to have to extend him for big money. He's going to get a max contract. And when they get to that point, you then can't.
You're limited in what you can do.
Yeah. This is your opportunity to make a big splash. And you don't have to sit with it that long, right? It's a 1-year thing.
I just think our logic for why we are on the fence about Houston
is the same.
Is the same logic that applies to San Antonio, but I think to a bigger degree, because I think San Antonio is a step behind Houston. And so you put Houston back on the list? Okay, I can entertain San Antonio being on the list. I'm just not sure. And so the reason why I wanted to do this exercise is I just don't know how many real, true teams there are. 480-864-1060 is the phone number if you want to join us on a Take Friday. John says that he tried calling. Now, you were in the middle of helping on the segment, so that's okay. He said, at least I didn't get hung up on this time. So John really just wanted to poke the bear of producer Evan. Just really wanted to.
I didn't even see that.
No, we were talking. It's fair. It's totally reasonable. I think John's trolling you a little bit. I think there's a little troll in there. We got buy or sell. We've got your phone calls on a Take Friday, 480-864-1060. We've got all of it when we come back right here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays, 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Phoenix, are you ready to ascend? Bring Me the Horizon, USA Ascension Program, Part 1.
Every sky will build, my friend.
Taking over Footprint Center, October 2nd, with special guest
Crawling from hell.
Motionless in White, The Plot in You, and Amira El Fiki. On sale now at livenation.com. Bring Me the Horizon, presented by the Big Red Radio.
Summer's almost here, and that means swimsuits, pool parties, and walks on the beach. For the confidence to look your very best, come to Red Mountain Weight Loss. At Red Mountain, our expert doctors will help maximize your results from brand name medications like Wegovy and Zepbound. Another option is our signature medication, RM3. RM3 helps you lose up to 20 pounds a month while melting inches from your belly, hips, and thighs. This patented medication is available only by prescription, and you can only get it at Red Mountain Weight Loss. For over 30 years, Red Mountain has been the trusted leader in medical weight loss. Our doctors deliver safe, effective solutions tailored to your needs. Red Mountain has helped over 1 million patients lose weight safely, and they can help you too. Lose weight and look great just in time for summer at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com. That's redmountainweightloss.com. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real doctors, real results.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
ASU baseball continues to fight in their final series of the 2025 regular season over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils as they look to win over Oklahoma State. Every win counts as ASU looks to stand tall in the Big 12 rankings ahead of next week's tournament. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live from the Sooner State. It's ASU versus OSU. Pregame at 3:45 p.m. and first pitch at 4 over on KAZG 1440 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils. Welcome back into the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert here with you, wrapping up hour number 1 of the program. It is my understanding that the defending Take Friday champ is here with us. John, Evan picked up your phone call. How are you today on this Friday? What's your take here for Take Friday?
Good Friday, Chris. My take is following up with Kevin Durant. He will be a Sun next year because nobody will give the Suns what they are asking for him. I just don't see it.
The Phoenix Suns will not trade Kevin Durant. They will not get what they want for him. And so he will be on the team next season. You know what? That's how you defend your championship. That is how on a Friday you defend being the Take Friday champion. That is how you win last week. You have a good take. You get us started. And then, since the floor is yours, since you're the defending champ, you hit us with something like that. That's some great stuff by John. I don't know if I agree with it, but that's what we're looking for on a Take Friday.
Just when you thought, John, couldn't come back.
Oh.
He comes back with something
I was never worried. You just needed to pick up the phone. That's all. So you just needed to pick up the phone, and then we're good. We just needed
The alignment.
a little more alignment, and then we were okay. So, okay. But now, here's now the challenge for everybody. John won last week, Take Friday champion. He comes in here, starts us off hot. You got to at least give it a shot. You know what? What if we just took a shot? You got to give it, you have to try. You got to try to dethrone that. So 480-864-1060 will continue to take your phone calls here throughout. We need to do the most rapid fire edition of Buy or Sell in the history of the program. I just looked up at what time it was. The whole first hour, we've been completely off the rails.
Ready?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot of time, so even if I'm not.
Cardinals have to go 5-2 before the bye if they want to make the playoffs.
5-2 before the bye if they want to make the playoffs. Okay, I need to marinate on this for just a second. 5-2. We have them going 5-2. At least I did in my 10-7 prediction yesterday. Yes, because I think the spirit of this Buy or Sell is they have to get off to a hot start. I don't want to hold myself specifically to the 5-2, but they need to stack up wins in those first 6 weeks. Favored in 5 of their first 6 games. At New Orleans, rookie quarterback week 1. Carolina, a so-so team in week 2. First overall pick, rookie quarterback in week 5. Seattle at home. Indy on the road. Yeah, you got to get off to a hot start. I'll buy that one.
Cardinals have to beat Bengals, Packers. Cardinals have to beat 2 of Bengals, Packers, Bucks, or Texans to have a chance to win the division.
They have to beat 2 of the Bengals, the Packers, the Bucks, or the Texans to have a chance to win the division. I'm going to sell this. Here's why I'm going to sell this. I got them to 10-7 yesterday. I had them losing to Green Bay. I had them losing to the Bucks. I had them losing to the Texans, and I had them losing to the Bengals. And I think 10-7, and we're going to get into this more in the second hour of the show. I think 10-7 is enough to get you into the conversation. And none of those are divisional games. So if you lose those games, those ones don't hurt you as bad as losing to San Francisco or losing to the Rams.
The Cardinals' biggest test on the schedule is the Cincinnati Bengals on the road in late December.
Sell. The biggest test on the road, and maybe it's because I'm speaking this game into existence, is week 18 on the road at the Rams. That's the biggest test on the schedule. If everything goes the way we think it's going to go, that's a primetime game. That is a road game for Kyler in a place that has become a house of horrors for him. It is probably the lowest moment of his professional career. It could be the thing that gets them either in or out of the playoffs. Again, I'm kind of assuming some things here, but I think that week 18 game is going to be the biggest test on the schedule. Sell.
It'll be interesting to see them play in the cold. That's why I kind of talked about that. After watching the Nuggets Thunder series and the Nuggets take it to 7, NBA head coaches do not matter.
Okay, you want to give me a little more meat on that bone? What do you want me to do with that? NBA head coaches don't matter.
Yes.
Is this because the Nuggets fired their head coach
the Nuggets
with
fired
4
their head
days?
coach with 4 days left in the NBA season. Now they're 1 game away from the Western Conference Finals and taking on the 1 seed in the West.
I'm selling this. Head coaching matters. Why do you think the Boston Celtics forced the Game 6? Coaching matters. The Thunder have made adjustments in this series. Indiana winning the way that they did against Cleveland, coaching matters. Coaching still matters.
I just thought okay. I probably phrased that poorly. Coaching matters, at least in basketball than any of the major 4.
Yeah, you might be right there. I might buy that but that's not what the buy or sell was.
The Rockies will finish as the worst baseball team of our lifetime.
Oh, buy that. Yeah, buy that. Buy that for sure. I mean, this team is abysmal. 7 wins so far this season. Worst team in the modern era of the game. I mean, just absolutely brutal how bad they are. And there's no signs of things turning around for them anytime soon.
No.
So they're going to probably set the loss record.
Before the year, too, I was like, I like Tovar and I like Brendan Doyle. But
nope, not anymore.
Yep.
Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Your phone calls for a Take Friday, all in hour number 2. 480-864-1060 is the phone number. Back into the Diamondbacks when we come back. This 15-game stretch. What do we need to see? That's next, a lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
School's out and soccer is in. Celebrate the end of the school year with Phoenix Rising on Friday, May 17th at 7 p.m. as they take on Monterey Bay at home. It's the perfect way to kick off summer, and every fan gets a free Phoenix Rising tote bag at the gates while supplies last. Tickets start at just $15. Grab yours now at phxrisingfc.com. Class dismissed. Let the celebration begin.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Are you tired of seeing rust stains in your sinks? Call Culligan. Or scrubbing hard water scale buildup from your fixtures. Call Culligan. We can customize whole home solutions to address common water worries found in Phoenix. And now, for a limited time, you can get better water at every tap in your home for $0 down, no payments, and no interest for 6 months. Problem water is no problem for Culligan. Contact your local water expert today. Contaminants may not be in your water. Dealer participation may vary. See dealer for details.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
The summertime savings are heating up at Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Come check out a brand new 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage for just $15,995.
The name to remember? Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Scottsdale Mitsubishi, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
12 o'clock hour of the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Appreciate you being here with us. You want to get involved? You want to dethrone the champ? Take Friday, 480-864-1060. You're going to run out of time. There's just only one more hour left in the week. There's one more hour left in the program. There's one more hour left in a Take Friday. You've got one more hour, one more chance. The next call could be the call that wins it. You have no idea. You bring a big take to the table. You join the program. You have a chance to become a Take Friday champion. Maybe we have a tournament of champions at one point where we get all the winners together and it's just rapid fire. That might be fun. At the end of the year.
That'd be a good time. If we could get them all on the phone at the same time.
Well, that's a lot of work for you. And, so far you have not been the best with the phones.
Well, week 2 with the phones.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't hang up on John this time. So that was at least a step in the right direction.
Yeah, didn't see his call.
No, again, we were in the middle of having a conversation.
By the way, speaking of phones, it's currently ringing.
Please, producer Evan, by all means, go ahead. Please take that phone call. In the meantime, we'll talk about the Arizona Diamondbacks to open up hour number 2. Tonight, they start a 3-game series with the Colorado Rockies. They start a 15-game stretch. And it was, I think, last week on the show where we did some very poor math in real time. We were trying to put this together and talk about how nice this stretch is coming up for this Diamondbacks team. Jack Summers, who does a great job covering the Diamondbacks over for Sports Illustrated, did a much better job of putting these numbers together. But here is the next 15 games for the Diamondbacks. They're going to play 3 against the Rockies, who are 7-36. They're going to play 3 against the Dodgers, who are 29-15. They're going to play 3 against the Cardinals, who are 24-20. They're going to play 3 against the Pirates, who are 15-29. They're going to play 3 against the Nationals, who are 18-27. The average record of those opponents during this next 15-game stretch is 19-25. That's the average record. So that includes playing the 29-15 Dodgers and the 24-20 Cardinals. But 3 of their next 5 series are against teams with a losing record, including the worst team in baseball with a negative 137 run differential. The average run differential for the opponents is minus 30. So that is who they have coming up. That is the schedule that they have in front of them. So what do they need to do? What does this need to look like? 15 games, 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the Pirates, 3 against the Nationals. I'm looking at those 3 series. Let's start there, producer Evan. Rockies, Pirates, Nationals. 9 games, 3 teams below 500. How many wins do you have to have? I think you're looking at least 7 wins from those 3 series.
Yeah, 7 to 8.
A sweep of the Rockies. Now I want you to sweep the Pirates. You're at home against the Pirates.
You're playing 2 teams that just fired their manager at home.
With a combined 22 wins, and you're playing both of those teams at home. So I want 2 sweeps there. I want 6 games there. 2 out of 3 against the Nationals, better than both of those teams. That gets you to 8. And then you play the Dodgers and the Cardinals. The Cardinals are basically what you are as a baseball team. They're 24-20. So
they're hot right now.
They're hot, but okay. You win 1 game there. You win 1 game against the Dodgers. That's 10. You go 10-5 in this stretch. That feels like the floor for what this is supposed to be. I don't think it's unreasonable to say, hey, you got to sweep the Rockies and you got to sweep the Pirates. 2 teams that, like you said, fired their manager already. 10-5, I think, is the bare minimum. You're playing 15 games against teams that are 19-25 and have a run differential that's minus 30. You should make up some ground during this schedule. You should make up some ground during this stretch of the calendar. So this is weird. You've texted me that we have somebody for a Take Friday, but their name is Chris. This feels weird for me to throw to a Chris when I'm the Chris on the program, but we'll do it. We'll allow it because Chris has now. The tease you said to me is Chris wants to talk the Cardinal schedule. Does he want to do the win-loss game? Is that what he's doing?
I don't know if it's the win-loss game or he's going to point out some games.
Okay, Chris, whatever you want. If you want to do the win-loss game, you just got to tell me so I can help you produce this thing. But whatever you got on the Cardinal schedule on a Take Friday, the floor is yours.
Well, thanks, Chris. How you doing, guys? Well, first of all, I could do both. I could give you an overall schedule, and I think there are some games in there that are going to push them up or down, maybe keep them in or out of the playoffs. But I can absolutely walk through each game.
Let's do it. Win-loss game, I got you. I'll get you some music. You're good. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Saints is a win.
Win.
Carolina, they lose.
Lose. L, put it down. Write it down, producer Evan.
San Francisco, they win.
2-1 for them. Right?
They win.
Win.
Tennessee, they win.
It's 4.
Colts, they win.
That's 5.
Green Bay lost.
Or 5-2.
Dallas Cowboys, they lose, but that's one of the games I'll talk about at the end that they could flip them. They lose that game.
Okay.
Then Seattle again, they sweep Seattle.
Okay.
Week 11, San Fran, they sweep San Fran. I think San Fran's going to drop off, going to stay where they were last year. Week 12, Jacksonville Jaguars, they win. Tampa Bay Bucks, they lose. The Rams, they lose. The Texans, they lose. The Falcons, they win. The Bengals, they lose. And unfortunately, in Week 18, the Rams win again with a sweep there. So in their own division, they sweep Seattle. They sweep San Francisco. They get swept by the Rams. And so that total is 9-8. I think if they can beat the Cowboys, if they can get that game, they get 10. Or maybe if they steal one of the Rams games, they can get to 10.
Dallas.
So they're going to be
and the Rams.
They're on the fringe.
They're on the fringe. Appreciate it, Chris. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that at the end there you told me what your record was because about halfway through I lost count. I was trying to keep up. I was trying to mark down the wins and the losses. I halfway through I'm like I don't know anymore. I don't know what their record is. The math just evaporated. I didn't have it anymore. So he had them going 9-8, and he circled the Dallas game, which is a Monday night game, and the 2 Rams games. Now I'll tell you this though, Chris: 4-2 in the division. You have them sweeping the 49ers and sweeping the Seahawks. 4-2 in the division and to only get to 9-8, that's a disappointment. I think if you go 4-2 in the division and we're only getting to 9-8, and that's probably not good enough to win the division. That might not be good enough to make the playoffs. That's tough. To go 4-2 in the division and to only win 9 games on the season, I think might be a tough pill to swallow.
And where he switched us around is he had the Panthers as a loss.
He did have the Panthers as a loss in week 2. I remember him saying that.
Which is interesting, but I don't actually hate that. Like, that's a game they could lose.
No. You have to start 2-0.
Well,
you have to start 2-0.
If they want to make the playoffs, they can't lose that game.
Yes.
But they could lose that game.
As a football team, they can lose any game on this schedule.
Not the Saints.
They can lose that game in week 1.
No, they can't.
They could.
No, they can't.
No, they could. They could lose that game.
No, they can't.
You want to put? See, but I'm with you. I was going to say let's make a lunch bet on it, but I have that. We both have them winning the game, so I don't even know how we would do that.
They can't. The Saints could go on not win a game.
Yes, I agree with you that the Cardinals should win that game.
The Saints could go 0-17.
The Saints could go 0-17. Now that may be a lunch bet I would take if you would be willing to offer odds on that.
Yeah, I'll take.
If you feel that's
I want 2 lunches to 1 lunch.
So you want 2 lunches to 1 lunch. So you get 2 lunches if the Saints go 0-17. I get 1 lunch if the Saints if they win 1 game.
Yeah.
That feels very unfair for you because I think by week 5 I'm going to be collecting my lunch. No, I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to save you from yourself there.
I think you're underestimating how bad the Saints are.
I think you are.
Give me one piece you like on their team that isn't 35 years old.
I like their coach. They have a coaching upgrade from last year.
100%.
And coaching in the NFL, it can win you a game. You can steal one.
Unlike the NBA.
Unlike the NBA, yeah, I was part of Buy or Sell just in the last segment. So, okay. So we had another Take Friday. We got to play the win-loss game, 9-8.
That was fun with the caller.
The most pessimistic person so far on this program that's weighed in. I think Michael was 9-8 yesterday, too.
It is, yeah.
We've had
that much different than ours.
We've had nobody call in and be like, they're going 6-11. We haven't had that phone call yet.
No, I think I say this again. That Cowboys-Seattle stretch, they take both of those. They're in the playoffs.
Weeks 9 and 10 right out of the bye.
Yeah. This was supposed to be a D-back.
It was supposed to be a Diamondback segment, but that's what happens on a Take Friday. We don't apologize for that. That's what happens. And again, any chance I have to play the NFL music, I will. And now I've got other people's notes on my win-loss schedule because I was trying to keep track of what Chris was doing there. There was just a lot going on. There's a lot. Where were we? The Diamondbacks. Speaking of wins and losses, 15 games for them. Starting tonight with the Rockies. We said, 10 is the bare minimum that you have to win?
I actually have written down here 11-12 is the bare minimum.
Okay, so the way that you're getting there is 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the Pirates, 2 against the Nationals, and then 3 of 6 against the Dodgers and the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. That's hard.
You just split with the Dodgers.
You did just split with the Dodgers, but this series is now in LA. And I think it's important to note if you were drawing it up, it's not the best pitching matchups. This is an Erod start.
No, you do get caught with an Erod.
You get caught with an Erod start against the Dodgers. That does sway it a little bit. Because 11-4 is, I think, asking a lot. I mean, 10-5 right now with the way they're playing feels like you're asking.
I want to say this: if they go 8-7 in this 15-game stretch, it's going to be hard to catch up.
Well, okay, yes, but it also depends. If they go 8-7 and they sweep the Rockies, they sweep the Pirates, they take 2 out of 3 from the Nationals, and they struggle against the Dodgers and the Cardinals, aren't we going to kind of throw up our hands and say, yeah, it's kind of right. It's kind of the way they've been playing.
Yeah, but that would mean you would have to get swept by the Dodgers and the Cardinals.
No. Oh, yeah, it would. It would mean that you would have gotten swept by both of those teams. And I don't think they're not bad enough to get swept by both of those teams.
No.
They're good enough to win one. So if you assume one win in both of those, that's 2. 3 against the Rockies gets you to 5. 3 against the Pirates gets you to 8. 2 against the I just think 10 wins, double-digit wins during this 15-game stretch. Because if you don't, to your point, I just think you're digging yourself too big of a hole to get out of.
And I'm not going to say the season's over, but gosh, where do you find those? This was the area on the schedule. You're just like, okay, let's find some wins here.
Right.
And that you just, where do you find them outside of this?
Right. If I can't find them here,
where else?
Where am I going to find them?
Yeah.
If you can't beat up on the Rockies and the Pirates,
who are you going to beat up?
Right. Who are you going to beat up on? Where are you going to get fat with your schedule? So yes, tonight starts a very important 3-game set for this team. And I said it in the open. I'll repeat it here now. This team has to sweep the Rockies this weekend. And I hate to do that for a series before Memorial Day. I hate to put that type of pressure out there because that just sets us up to be disappointed come Monday. But you know what? If this team is supposed to be a playoff-bound team, then you beat the Rockies every time you play them this year. You just do. 480-864-1060. It is a Take Friday here on the program. So if you want to get involved, we've had a couple of takes. One Suns related, one Cardinals related. We had somebody play the win-loss game. You want to hop in on the Diamondbacks? We were talking Diamondbacks. We had a Cardinals call. So my expectation is since we're talking Cardinals in the next segment, that's where we'll get the Diamondbacks call. That's normally how it's gone today here on the show. So whatever is on your mind, you want to get involved on a Take Friday, please do so. 480-864-1060. We'll be taking your phone calls up until 1 o'clock here on the show. When we come back, yesterday, we predicted a 10-7 record for the Arizona Cardinals. Is that going to be enough to get them into the postseason? That's next on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, BMX, Shade Scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated, and the lawyer you choose needs to be equipped to handle them. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
Pool season is coming in hot. Before you make a splash, assign a water watcher to help keep kids safe. A water watcher is a capable adult who knows how to swim and perform CPR in case of emergency. Make sure they put away any distractions and actively monitor everyone in the group while around water. After everyone is done swimming, water watchers should scan the bottom of the pool and close and lock the pool gate behind them. Ready for more water safety tips? Visit srp.net/pool.
In Las Vegas, live music doesn't just start. It hits different. The biggest names in music will be taking the stage. Beyoncé, Shakira, New Kids on the Block, Pitbull, Lionel Richie, Kenny Chesney, Motley Crue, Janet Jackson, Keisha Cole, Brad Paisley, Kelly Clarkson, The Weeknd, live in Vegas. Go to visitlasvegas.com to see the full summer lineup.
Memorial Day mega sale is on at Little Dealer Little Prices. Get a new Forest River Westbrook from $13,995. Plus, veterans, military, and first responders receive a free camping package with purchase. Shop now at littledealer.com. Discount valid on in-stock RVs camping package for eligible buyers. Not combinable with other offers. See dealer for details. Ends May 31st, 2025.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The Las Vegas Raiders made headlines when they selected North Dakota State Cam Miller in the 6th round of the NFL Draft. Not because of the pick itself, but because of who co-signed on it. Tom Brady, part owner of the Raiders, greatest quarterback of all time, reportedly gave Miller his personal stamp of approval. There are things to like about Miller. He's got good size and mobility, comes from a very good program. And there's a reason that he went in the 6th round, though. He's a project, not a prospect you're expecting to lead your franchise anytime soon. And while Brady's voice carries weight, being great on the field doesn't always translate to being great at evaluating talent. Just ask Michael Jordan about his draft history. Endorsements are nice. Development, coaching, competition, they matter more. Cam Miller may end up surprising us. But until then, let's treat him like he is, a late round pick with some upside. Not the second coming of Tom Brady, just because Tom Brady said so. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball, and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy, different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell pickleball shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell pickleball shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Welcome back into the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert here with you. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. We are half hour away from the weekend. I know I'm looking forward to the weekend. You looking forward to the weekend, producer Evan? You got any big plans? I know you have big plans now. You're watching the Preakness.
Watching the Preakness. I got Paul's pick. By the way, pretty sure it's River Thames, not Thames, named after a river in England.
So you looked at the horse's name, correct?
Yes.
Is it THAMES?
Okay, so it's spelled like THAMES.
Like Eric Thames, the former Milwaukee Brewer.
The former first baseman who got brought up this morning.
Right, the morning. Don't ask why, but in the morning meeting, Eric Thames was brought up. We sidebar in some weird directions sometimes. So that's why I pronounced it the way that I did. But it's not. You're telling me.
I think it's River Thames, pronounced TEMZ. Which is a river in England.
So you want me to look at Thames and pronounce it TEMZ?
River Thames.
Well, that's just wrong. That's just not how the English language works. I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't. I mean.
Plus, we're big Eric Thames people,
right?
So I'm gonna keep plugging that.
I mean, when I saw the email and it said River Thames the way that it is written, I was like, oh, River Thames, that's easy. Because sometimes you have a horse and the name, I'm like, I'm not really sure. That one felt easy. River Thames.
Yeah.
No, of course not. River Thames. Thames. TEMZ.
That's. Again, I haven't listened to the pronunciation on the Google thing.
So
it's
all right.
Phonetically, it's spelled TEMZ with a hard T. Thames.
So Paul emailed in to predict the winner of the Preakness. Yesterday, we predicted a 10-7 record for the Arizona Cardinals in the win-loss game.
Great segue.
You know what? That's why I'm the professional here on the program. Is that enough for this team to make the postseason? Is that enough to get this team into a playoff spot, which is where their goal needs to be? They have to end up in a playoff spot in 2025. We are all agreed on that. No, we are all agreed that this team has to make the postseason. Will 10-7 be enough? It would have been enough last year. 10-7 would have had them in the conversation. Both the Rams and the Seahawks were 10-7. The Rams were in, the Seahawks were out. So it would at least put them in the conversation. I think anything below 10-7, I don't know if you're going to be in. This is a tough way to do this, but producer Evan, go with me here if you're interested. I want to look at the playoff teams from a year ago. And I want to say, will they win more games or less games than they won last season? Let's start in the East. Philly, they're going to win around the same number of games. So they're going to be the same. I don't know if it's going to be exactly 14, but they're going to win double-digit games, no problem. Washington, they won 12 games last year. They're going to be around that same stratosphere. Dallas won 7 games a year ago. I think they're going to probably go up. They're going to be closer to 500. Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay. Detroit, you feel, is going to be just as good. Green Bay, you feel, is going to be just as good. Minnesota could take a step backwards going from Sam Darnold to J.J. McCarthy. But are they going to go from 14 wins to 9 wins? Is it going to be that big of a difference? Is it going to be a 5-win difference? It may be. That feels like a lot, though. Chicago, they're going to win more than 5 games. Tampa Bay, 10 wins, that's probably their ceiling. Atlanta, I don't think they're going to break through and win more than 10 games. Carolina and New Orleans, we know what those teams are. The Rams, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the 49ers. Are the 49ers going to be 6-11 bad next year? I think Seattle is going to take a step backwards. I think Seattle is not going to be a 10-7 team next year. But if you noticed, I had a lot of teams winning around the same number of games, and I had a bunch of teams winning more games than they did a year ago. So 10-7 might sit right on the cusp. 10-7 might sit right on the fringe of division winner or in a wild card conversation. And if you're in the wild card conversation, you have a lot of scoreboard watching to do if you're in the wild card mix. You're going to have to watch Minnesota. You're going to have to watch Green Bay. You're going to have to watch Chicago. You're going to have to watch Dallas. You're going to have to watch Washington. You have to watch all of those teams. Because in order for the Cardinals to get in, somebody has to be out. Your playoff teams a year ago: Philadelphia, Washington, Detroit, Minnesota, Green Bay, Tampa, the Rams. Who are the likely candidates to miss? Potentially the Rams. That's the easiest path for the Cardinals. Tampa won the division, so you can't take that spot. The other wildcard teams were Minnesota, Green Bay, and Washington. Minnesota might fall out. Green Bay might fall out. I don't think Washington is, though. I think Philly is in. I think Washington is in. I think Detroit is in. I think Tampa is in. So your pathway right now is to get one of those last couple of wildcard spots or to win the division. And 10-7, as it sits right now, might be right on the cusp. It's why you can't lose 4 of the last 6 games like we had them doing yesterday when I did my win-loss prediction. It's why that stretch from week 13 to week 18 is so important. You find a way to beat Tampa. You find a way to beat Houston. You find a way to beat Cincinnati or the Rams. You find a way to win one of those games and get to 11. Boy, am I going to feel a lot better about your chances of making the postseason and breaking through. At 9 or 10, you are going to be on the fringe. You get the right tiebreakers to go your way, then I think you're in. You don't, you're out. Now, I said earlier that we were going to have a baseball call during the football portion of the program. And that because we had a football call during the baseball segment, we were going to have a baseball call during the football segment. It's kind of the way things go here on a Friday. If you are interested, since we've got about a half hour left, it is a Take Friday, the best take on the program today. You're getting a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's. This is our second week of doing this. John is our defending champion. He is the guy who won Take Friday last week. The phone number for you to join us, 480-864-1060. I promise you, producer Evan, the entire program,
the alignment.
We're aligned right now. We are aligned. Everything is working. I see him right now. He is on the phones right now taking your phone calls. So you can get involved here on the show. I promise you that. So how about this? We'll take a timeout. You can join us on the YouTube channel. If you're unable to talk to us here on the phone, you can also chat on the YouTube live stream. If you want to hop in, 480-864-1060. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll take a couple phone calls, and then we'll get more into the Diamondbacks. He's eligible to return to the team as of today. Is his return the missing piece? That plus your phone calls on the other side. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, August 2nd. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. It's about to get heavy. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like unloading the grocery bags from your car and you decide you can get all the bags in one trip.
I can do it.
So you load up all 14 grocery bags on both arms. Sure, you can't feel your fingers and forgot to take your house keys out.
Almost there.
But you never put down one bag and you made it inside all in one trip like the bag-carrying boss you are.
Yes.
Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Come visit the all-new Wecopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wecopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and the resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wecopa Casino Resort today. At Wecopa, we have the best of it all.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Make the most out of summer with the local Arizona getaway at Hilton Phoenix Resort at the Peak. The Hilton Phoenix Resort is offering an exclusive local discount of 20% off your staycation. All suite accommodations. Bring your family and enjoy the 4-acre water park. Full-service spa and fitness center. Arizona residents get up to 20% off the best available rates. Go to HiltonPhoenixResortAtThePeak.com to book your stay. Proof of residence required.
This is Desert Diamond Casino, where the tables are hot to the touch and there are jackpot-winning smiles all around. The spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, slots spinning winners every day, and an atmosphere sparkling with excitement. So get your shine on, light up the room, show us what it's all about. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Automation.
Bet with your head, not over it. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Welcome back into the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you. About a half hour or so left to go here on the program. We'll get into some baseball, get you ready for the Rockies series tonight for the Diamondbacks. A couple baseball calls here on the program. How about we start with Brian, who's got a baseball take for us here on a Take Friday. Brian, what do you got?
Hey, Chris. Sorry to zigzag on you.
It's okay.
Us callers, we need to get more in alignment with you and stay on topic.
Hold on.
The alignment.
I got you. We'll be more aligned here on the show. Don't you worry.
Nice. Value your opinion. What do you think the overall watchability and health of baseball is as an over a broad overview right now?
Well, there's different ways to slice that apple, right? I think if you look at some of the star power in the game, I don't know if we've been in a better place, right? Ohtani is must-see TV on a regular basis. Juan Soto is in a big market, a must-see TV on a regular basis. We've got Corbin Carroll, who's a huge superstar here in town. There are stars all over the place. Ellie De La Cruz in Cincinnati. I mean, you pick any market, Bobby Witt Jr. in Kansas City. Even the smaller market teams have superstars that are must-see. I think the rule changes, the pace of play has helped bring this game to a younger audience. Does it mean that the game is perfect? Does it mean that baseball always gets it right? No, baseball most of the time ends up getting it wrong. But I think in terms of the star power, the pace of play, the overall game, it's the best it's been in the last couple of years. Why? Do you agree, disagree?
Oh, you're just serving it right up to me, because I hope Manfred's listening to this, because, he's tried, but everything he does seems to steer it right into the ditch, kind of like the NCAA. He gets rid of the sticky stuff. He gets the pitch clock. He outlaws the shift in an effort to get more action. And look, and what do we have? And we're sitting here in May. The average, the major league batting average is like 240. That you got to go back to the 60s to get to that. So nothing is working. And the reason it's not working is because the pitchers are too good. Those relief pitchers are too good. I go to the last game I went to at Wrigley before I left Illinois. The game was 2 hours and 15 minutes. It was 3-1. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
You just sit down and the game's over already. So I think the only way to fix this and to get more action in the game, I don't think the pace of play was the problem. Theo back in Chicago said, we need more balls in play. We need more action going on. In order to give the advantage back to the offensive player, you can't lower the mound. You can't move the mound back. It pains me to say it, but I think you need not only do you need a fully automated strike zone, but you need to shrink that thing and make those pitchers earn it. So there's no giving that strike down low and away anymore. That's a ball. You got to somehow give the advantage back to the offensive player so that maybe the league batting average can get back up to like a 270. So, things are happening in a baseball game.
Brian,
that's my solution, and that's my take.
Yeah, appreciate the phone call. And I think you're going to get your wish, because we saw this in spring. They used the automated balls and strikes challenge system. And I think it is the perfect bridge between something that you're advocating for, which would be a completely automatic zone, and then the people out there that still want there to be a somewhat human element to the game with umpires and needing to be able to know how one umpire calls things compared to a different umpire. And I think that automated balls and strike system, you're going to see a lot of batters early on when they put this into play next season. They're going to challenge stuff. They're going to get strikes turned into balls, and it's going to increase hitters' counts. And I hopefully think a byproduct of that is you're going to see the ball in play. Now, where I'd push back a little bit with you, Brian, and again, appreciate you calling in. We love to have the back and forth here on the show, is I do think the pace of play stuff helped. Was it the magic answer to everything? Absolutely not. I didn't like the idea of banning the shift at first. I didn't like it. It just felt like you were taking a strategic thing out of the game of baseball. But the thing I would say that where it has helped is those balls that do get hit there are now turning into base hits, so you are getting that action. It is a very tough spot to be as a commissioner of a sport that is so embedded into its history like baseball is. So when you make these types of tweaks, you have to be really careful. So because of that, baseball tends to either not move at all or move very, very slowly. It's one of the things that frustrates me so much about the game that I love more than any other sport, is that they lag behind the times a little bit. Now, our horse guy is on the line. Is this correct? Our horse guy's here? Paul is here. Not a horse-related phone call.
He's here. No, it's
a baseball call.
Baseball call.
Paul, I love the horse pick emails. I love it. You said you have a baseball statistic. This is what producer Evan told me during the break. You have a baseball statistic that you want to share. The floor is all yours, my friend.
Hello. This one is so far over the top. It just because they have the technology to give you this information doesn't mean they need to.
Okay.
Last night in the Dodger game, Dalton Rushing from the Dodgers got his first career base hit. And it was the hardest hit, first career hit by a Dodgers player since the StatCast era began in 2015. He hit the ball 110 mile an hour off the bat for his first career hit.
So here's what I will tell you, Paul. As we play on the show all the time.
I'm a huge nerd.
And I appreciate the phone call, and I love these numbers. I would agree with you that I don't know if I needed that information, right? I don't know if I need to be told that for his first big league hit, that's the hardest first hit. That's the nice little extra, fluff to everything, but that's not going to determine whether or not Dalton is a future all-star or if he's going to turn into a bust. Doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I love numbers. I love having that information, but there are times where they show something and I'm like, how did we get there? On Tuesdays, this guy has a 476 on base percentage. I don't care.
I wanted to keep Paul on the line there, so I'm going to reiterate what he just said to me because It was awesome and I want to give him credit for it. He said, can't you see Dalton rushing, telling his grandfathers, they're his grandkids, the grandfather.
Back in my day, I had the hardest first hit in Dodgers history in the StatCast era. I know you young whippersnappers weren't around for that, but when I was there, yeah, I don't.
That's awesome.
Sometimes those stats are your intro to telling a really good baseball story. That's not one of them. That's not one of those. That is, and I can be the first person to admit this.
I'm a huge nerd.
That's one of those nerd stats that great. That's an interesting little footnote. Not a whole lot more that I want to do that. Man, some great baseball calls there. Shout out to Brian. He sat on hold for a little bit. That was a very well thought out baseball opinion.
It was. No, 100% was.
I won't lie. That might be the leader right now.
I will tell you, I disagree.
You disagree with me or you disagree with Brian?
I just think baseball's headed in a good direction. I disagree with Brian. I would say that my friends who wouldn't watch baseball 5 years ago watch more games now than they used to.
Here is where I would caution against saying that things are headed in a good direction. There is a lockout coming in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Because you have teams like the Pittsburgh Pirates who don't spend any money. You have teams like the Rockies who are coming to town this weekend. These are teams that, let's face it, guys, they're not trying. These teams are not trying to field competitive rosters. I saw a report. I wish I could give credit where credit is due on this, but a report that Pittsburgh, despite the losing, they're making money as a team and they're just sticking it into their pockets. They're not reinvesting it into the baseball club. And so that is a major problem. And the only way out of that is to have a salary floor where these teams are forced to spend up to a certain amount. Your problem with that right now is that requires a cap. The players are against the cap, and that requires a unified TV approach. And you don't have a unified TV approach right now. You've got all of these regional sports networks, the ones that still exist, Boston, New York, both New York teams, the Dodgers,
Philadelphia,
the Cubs.
That's
it. All these, the Diamondbacks, Major League Baseball is running their TV deal. They don't have a TV deal. So unless you're going to get everything under one umbrella, and it is what Rob Manfred is trying to do, and he's got to get some big teams that make a lot of money via their TV deal on board, that's the only way I see the money getting spread around the way it is in the NFL, to where you can put a cap into place, where you can put a floor into place, and everybody can be on the same page. We are headed towards a lockout. So that's where we're doing some good things. I think the ABS and the challenge system step in the right direction. I think the pace of play initiatives that they've put together in the last couple of years, I think have been good for the game. I think the young star power of the game is at an all-time high right now. All of these things are good.
I think they do a good job with the international series. I think they need to start bringing back the Field of Dreams games, stuff like that. Makes it fun.
You've got 2 franchises that don't have permanent ballparks right now, in the A's and in Tampa Bay. So again, there are some good, but the basic fundamental under the hood financials for baseball paint a very bleak picture in the short term until they figure out some of this long-term stuff from a financial perspective. Back-to-back great phone calls there in that segment. Very good job by everybody. The Diamondbacks back in action tonight. They will be taking on the Rockies. They have Justin Martinez back. He's eligible to come off the injured list as of today. He threw against live hitters on Wednesday, had a bullpen over the weekend, and I don't know if he's going to necessarily be brought back immediately, probably at some point during this stretch. And I wonder if just bringing back one guy can fix a lot of the issues that this team has with their bullpen. Because the sigh of relief that I think we would all breathe if Justin Martinez is back out in the 9th inning throwing 100, I think there'd be a weight lifted off of all of our shoulders of, the 9th innings, we're good. We've got the 9th inning figured out. The rest of it, that's a bit of a clown car. But the 9th inning,
the alignment,
we're good, baby. We're good. So it's one guy. We don't know if he's necessarily going to come back during this series against Colorado or if it's a little bit further down the road, but all signs have been pointing towards him coming back sooner on the shorter side of once he's able to or eligible to be activated, which is as of today. And boy, if he's back there throwing 99, 100 with that sinker and throwing that nasty splitter and that inflammation and that fatigue is in the rearview mirror, boy, is that going to be a really nice thing for the Diamondbacks to have. Now, the counter to that, the concern that I have is, are they going to try to play it safe and play it cautious with him so you can rule out back-to-backs? You can rule out 3 appearances in 4 days, and they're really going to be mindful of how often they have him out there. Because then that you put yourself into a spot where a couple times throughout the week, you may not have him at all, and then you're back to the revolving door, the wheel of closers. You spin the wheel of closers, and who knows who's going to pop up that day to be the closer. Last call for phone calls here on a Take Friday, 480-864-1060. We've got the leftovers. So if you want to hop in and try to dethrone John, try to win Take Friday here, get a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's, you have at the top of the segment. That's it, because then we're going to get into the leftovers. Producer Evan has a bunch of stories for us. So this is your last chance, last call to get involved here on a Take Friday. We appreciate everybody who has joined us here today on the show. We've done this for 2 weeks now. We've had a lot of fun. It's made the Friday show leading into the weekend a really good time. And we're hoping to keep this going throughout the rest of the year and make it a recurring theme here on the show. So your last chance to get in, 480-864-1060. On the phone lines. We've got the leftovers. We'll wrap up the week. We'll get you ready for the weekend, and we'll do it next year on the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays, 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
You got the paint job, but now you need the materials fast. Get free same-day or next-day delivery on select PPG paints from the Home Depot. Now that's a pro move. Save time on store runs and get free delivery on small or large orders of select items. Save energy shopping around with PPG's wide assortment of colors and finishes all in one place. And save money with Pro Extra, where you can get up to 20% off paints, primers, and stains through Paint Rewards. The Home Depot, how pros get more done.
Dive into summer style and savings during the Memorial Day event at Living Spaces. Enjoy cozy lounging with sofas starting at $350, easy resting with queen beds starting at $195, and special meals with dining sets starting at $295. You'll even find outdoor sets for alfresco fun starting at $595. Plus, pay no interest for 24 months on select purchases with your good credit and enjoy free shipping as soon as next day. Celebrate the start of summer and shop the Memorial Day event only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
The Memorial Day mega sale is on at Little Dealer Little Prices. Take off your summer adventure with a new Forest River Westbrook from $13,995, featuring better quality, better features, and unbeatable value. Veterans, active duty military, and first responders receive a free Canby package with purchase as our way of saying thank you. Enjoy zero markups on freight and prep fees and shop with confidence thanks to fast, easy financing. These deals won't last. Visit littledealer.com today. Discount valid on in-stock RVs. Camping package for eligible buyers. Do not combine mobile with other offers. See dealer for details. Ends May 31st, 2025.
ASU baseball continues to fight in their final series of the 2025 regular season over on KAZG 1440. Join the Sun Devils as they look to win over Oklahoma State. Every win counts as ASU looks to stand tall in the Big 12 rankings ahead of next week's tournament. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live from the Sooner State. It's ASU versus OSU. Pregame at 3:45 p.m. and first pitch at 4 over on KAZG 1440 and online at KDUS1060.com/Sun Devils.
Back to wrap up a Take Friday here on the lunch break. Appreciate you being here with us had a blast today. These Take Friday shows have been a lot of fun. We've enjoyed hearing from you. This is not supposed to be a show where I just talk into a microphone for 2 hours and everybody listens. We're supposed to have the interactivity. It's why we've got the YouTube stream up. It's why we want to hear from you on the phone lines. We want to hear from you. This is supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have a good time. We're supposed to be
the alignment.
We're just supposed to have some fun on a Friday. That's what we attempt to do here. We attempt to do it every day, but Friday we take it to another level. And now it's time for the leftovers. All the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan has been working very hard today, working the phones. You didn't hang up on anybody today. That was great. You had two people on at one time. That could have went sideways on you.
I was good there.
You did great there.
Yeah, I think I stood tall in the face pressure. Both feet on the ground, stand by what I said.
You got a little nervous because I came in there and I started pushing buttons.
You did.
You were like, you got a little territorial. You're like, dude, well, I got this, man. I got 2 phone calls here. Don't drop one of my calls.
Because then it only comes back on me.
Right. That's why there's no risk on my part to go in there and just start pushing buttons. But all right, what do you got in the leftovers here?
Okay. All right. Nuggets won to force Game 7 last night. The winner of that series to me is going to win the championship.
The winner of Game 7 between the Thunder. This would have been a good buy or sell. The winner of Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Thunder goes on to win the whole thing. They beat the Timberwolves and they beat the Knicks, the Celtics, or the Pacers. That's what you're saying to me right now?
That's what I think. I don't know if I would stand by it. Like in buy or sell, I stand by what I say. This is more of a thought process. Both feet on the ground, stand by what I say.
I don't feel comfortable saying that because Minnesota is really good. I think if the Knicks get by Boston, that's going to just give them even more confidence. So I'm not sure. It's been a fun series. It's going to be a fun Game 7. It's a good coaching chess match. The back and forth has been really good. I'm excited to watch Game 7 over the weekend.
Yeah, me too. ESPN article came out today. The top 5 storylines in NCAA football.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Michael says I'm going with Indy. To win the whole thing? You're going with the Pacers to win the whole thing, Michael? Michael, that's a Take Friday. That's a Take Friday kind of take, Michael. You can't just be dropping that at 12:52 on a Friday. You're going with Indianapolis? Going with the Pacers to win the whole thing?
That'd be cool, though. Okay, I got a take for you.
Okay.
And you're going to hate this.
You can't win Take Friday.
You of all people are going to hate this.
Okay, hold on. You're supposed to be better prepared. All right.
Anybody wearing alternate jerseys in the playoffs shouldn't win the championship.
No, this is such a bad take by you. I can't even speak how bad I disagree with this.
The Celtics are playing the Knicks, and if the Knicks go out there in navy blue again, I'm going to be irate. It is 2 classic looks in sports. Stop changing it up.
I have no problem if you want to have the take of that you like those jerseys better and you want them to wear those. I got no problem with you.
And Indiana running around on this gray court, it looks horrible.
Love it.
It's the playoffs. It's a big game, and we're running around in a court that looks like it's for the NBA Cup.
You sound a little like act like you've been here before. That's kind of what you're teetering with. Act like you've been here before, and I can't get on board with that. This is supposed to be fun, man. You're trying to win a championship. We're allowed to have fun in the process. Their jerseys, it's the court. Who cares?
I care.
Clearly.
It's just like Cleveland when they won a championship and they were wearing sleeves. That could have been the dumbest thing of all time.
Won a championship, though.
Yeah, but you remember them in sleeves?
Cleveland,
those jerseys were something.
Cleveland, this is for you.
That was awesome. That chase down block was, yeah. All right. For a team I don't care about, that was the coolest moment.
So Sean has jumped off the top rope here. And he says, solid hat today, Evan, and congrats on the big pinball win, which I just did not need to go into the Friday. But then he adds, totally agree, Evan, and for a kid your age to appreciate the sanctity of a team's jersey and colors is refreshing. You guys are you're just all anti-fun.
Not anti-fun.
Anti-fun.
You can wear them all you want in the regular season. Imagine if the Eagles, and I love the Kelly Green. Imagine if the Eagles went out there in Kelly Green. It doesn't represent the team.
Would be great if they wore the Kelly Green in the Super Bowls.
No, it would not. No.
I hope the Bucks make the Super Bowl and they wear the creamsicles. How about that for a take on a Take Friday? How about that? There you go.
It'd be like, we want to wear color rush in the playoffs. That would have been a disaster.
Now here's where it's a little tough for you because
what if the Jags wore all the mustard?
If the Tennessee Titans with Cam Ward make it to a Super Bowl, they can't wear Houston Oilers stuff.
No.
You can't do that.
No.
The Jets can't wear the New York Titans stuff. That's where I draw the line. You can't be doing that. Can't be doing that. You want to wear the creamsicles? Fine. The Rams want to wear the St. Louis colored Rams jerseys, the yellow and the blue.
Well, they should just go back to those jerseys
Kurt Warner?
full time.
Yeah, they should.
In the Super Bowl, do you remember when the Rams went to the Super Bowl and lost, and they were rocking like a current away jersey, but then the throwback homes?
Yeah.
That was horrible. They didn't know who they were.
I disagree strongly with this take. I don't care. You want to wear cool jerseys in the postseason, that's fine. Now, I do think baseball fans would lose their minds if teams started showing up in the City Connect jerseys in the playoffs.
If the Phillies were the City Connects in the playoffs,
people are going to lose their
lost.
minds. Yeah, people are going to lose their minds.
Like the powder blues are acceptable in the playoffs.
Yeah, those are nice jerseys.
But you cannot wear the.
Yeah, the Padres can't wear the neon San Diego jerseys in the playoffs. They can't do that. Although the Diamondbacks wearing the new purple Serpientes jerseys in the postseason would kind of go. I would kind of be for that.
I know you would.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Okay.
NCAA top 5 storylines post spring ball. Would you like to guess some of them?
The top 5 college football storylines post spring football?
Yes.
Is storyline number 1 who is on what team? Because that's my top storyline. I have no idea who is on teams anymore.
No, that's not one just because, well, one of them is. And the fifth one is Nico.
Yeah, that was a big storyline.
See, that's a big storyline.
That's a big storyline.
Number 4 is Dion in Colorado post Shador and Hunter.
Is number 3 America's team, Arizona State University?
It is not.
It's unfortunate.
No, we didn't.
Did you see that story?
No.
There was a college football reporter who called Arizona State America's team in college sports.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it.
Well, our head coach went to the school and is jumping around on the field with kids after they get a big win, and that's what it's all about.
Because you know what?
The alignment.
You want to talk about a team that's aligned?
The alignment.
I would have loved if they got up there and Brian Gregory was like, look what they're doing down
The
in Tempe
alignment.
with the football team. That's what we're trying to do.
The alignment.
They're aligned.
Would have worked.
Number 3, DeBoer at Alabama in year 2.
Okay.
Number 2, it's the greatest last name in sports. We don't even have to talk about more than that.
Oh, Archie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Arch Manning.
Number 1, Belichick goes back to school.
Oh, goodness gracious. Do we think he even makes it to week 1? I mean, there's legitimate reporting that he might not make it to week 1.
No. Did you not hear? Jordan isn't on the football side. She just handles business stuff.
Okay. That's the story you want to sell to everybody. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second.
Yeah.
I just don't believe you. I don't believe that she has nothing to do. Did you see the way she conducted herself in that CBS interview? Now all of a sudden she's like, I'm not involved. Now, stop. Get over yourself. Get over yourself.
Did you see the video at their spring game of like her walking around the field?
They got trolled in the Atlanta Falcons schedule release video.
Which is awesome.
Which is doubly trolly because they interviewed the guy. They interviewed him for the job, and now they trolled him. For a guy,
when you put it like that, it sounds so much worse.
For a guy who made an entire career off of not being a distraction by you're supposed to be better prepared, making sure he was more prepared than anybody else, he now walks around
schmammered.
I mean, he just walks around like he's got no control over anything.
No, it's bad. It's bad. Off-season NFL grades given out by Bleacher Report. Cardinals received a B+ grade, which is one of the higher ones.
Yeah, B+ is fine.
There was only 4 teams that got A's.
4 teams that got A grades.
Yep. Shout out to Sean. The Raiders get an A-.
Oh, our guy Sean, big Raiders fan. Are you guys going to the game yet, or have you decided what you're doing?
No.
You haven't decided.
He did text me about going to the game.
I know. He called me about it. He was like, yeah, Evan and I are going to a game. And I'm like, oh, you're going up to Allegiant. He goes, no, Philly. I'm like, why?
You don't want to come with?
No, I just that's the game you're going to pick. I know it's both of your teams, but that feels like a big commitment.
We're both going to rock Eric Allen jerseys. Eric Allen ASU jerseys.
Okay. You guys have fun with that.
Patriots got an A+.
Had a really good offseason. Got the head coach thing right. I think did a great job of building an infrastructure around Drake May. They are going to be a trendy pick of a team that should exceed expectations in 2025. And I love Drake May, so I'm really excited to see what that looks like. But yeah, they did really well.
Sticking with that theme, second-year quarterback, new head coach. Bears got an A+.
Is their quarterback okay? Does he still want to play for the Chicago Bears?
No, he just didn't want to play for Eberflus.
No, that's not true. His dad said Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die.
No. They love Ben Johnson.
No, that's exactly what they said. His dad said Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die.
They love Ben Johnson and Colston Loveland now. And the last team that got an A was the Giants, who got an A, who I stand by. I've said this before. If Jackson Dart is their guy, and they got it right with Dart, to come out of the draft with your franchise quarterback and your franchise edge rusher is unbelievable.
Brian, you win Take Friday. Producer Evan will get your information. Everybody have a great weekend.
Brian, I'm giving you a call in a minute.
We'll talk to you on Monday. See ya!
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.